spreadsheets to the runways. Meet Domenic DiPede, the Maverick of Milan.
After 3 decades as an accountant, Domenic dared to chase his true passion for fashion. Join us as he takes a bold leap into the glamorous world of Italian couture, sourcing the finest garments and brands straight from Milan's vibrant fashion
Exclusive
scene.
brands that I actually went and sourced them in Italy and brought them here.
Wow.
Europeans are all the same. The way they dress is phenomenal. The fashion industry in Europe as a whole and in Italy, you have 3 tiers. You have a luxury brand,
That's right.
you have a mid-market brand, and then you have a low brand. My vision was not just to open up a retail store to sell clothing. It was specific to Italian brands, exclusive, important to bring that mid-market back here, not only for the price point, also for the style.
Yeah, having the style and making sure that when you are leaving your place, you represent something with what you wear, right? That's the first impression.
Exactly. You know, it's either going to be high end or you're at a low end, whereas you're missing that. It's important because, you know, it's good to pass that on to the younger generation as well.
Don't miss this inspiring episode because sometimes the greatest fashion statements come from the most unexpected places.
I'm Matt Mack and this is Bloody Mavericks. Today on the show, we've got someone who moved through one industry to another, an owner and operator of 2911, fashion brand and fashion store. Buonasera, Domenic.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm awesome. Domenic, you've got a Canadian and Italian background.
Correct. Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
So therefore, as an introduction to that part of your heritage, I brought some food today, and we've got famous Italian risotto.
Oh, very nice.
With obviously some Parmigiano on top, and just some bread on the side as it classically is coming with. And let's dig in. Let's figure out if it's worth the try. And there is so much to Italian culture and Italian cuisine that almost every time I can try something else. And we had a couple different Italian background people over here already.
Right.
And I'm trying always
That's good.
try different things.
Yeah, for sure. From the north to the south, every dish is different.
Oh yeah.
Every culture is different. So we'll give it a try and see how it is.
Let's do that. Go ahead. So Domenic, since we are on the subject of your heritage, tell me, what's something that comes to mind first that you've been either following through your life yourself or your family taught you that is super Italian or super connected to what your family is representing or what they kind of cherish? What that might be on the background and cultural Italian front.
Sure. I think the biggest thing culturally is a tight family knit.
Okay.
Family is very, very important in the Italian culture. So I would say that that's number one. I grew up that way. I have my own children now, and I raised them the same way.
Awesome.
You know, being close-knit to the family is very important in our culture, and it's something that I believe in, and I continue to do that as well.
Amazing. Yeah. So it seems like everything is around the family, and that connection need to be close and need to be maintained and cherished. And are there, or Maybe before we go, because it's still warm, try it out
Let's
and
give it
let
a
me know
try.
what you think. And we're gonna go in a second.
Very good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
The
super
truffle
nice.
is amazing.
That's right. Wow.
Very good.
So in terms of your background and your family, how your family went about making sure that you as a children or younger generations, in your case, when you were passing down that knowledge, information, all the experiences, stories even to your children, how within your family you went about it, or how your parents and grandparents made sure that you...
So for me, it's a little bit different because my parents immigrated here when they were young.
Yeah.
Not young. They were like 19, 20 years old.
Okay.
So they left their homeland and they came to start a life here,
Yeah.
leaving their families behind. So, one by one, the family started coming. First my parents came, then their siblings came. And the big thing was always being together. I remember as a child, always being together with the family. So be it my cousins, my aunts and uncles. And that's something that, I'll always remember, always talk to my kids about that. And we do the same thing now with my own children. It's very important that on the holidays, we spend it with, their cousins,
Yeah.
with brothers and sisters, and just spend that time together. So as they grow, they'll always cherish these memories.
Yeah.
And hopefully that they'll continue it on as they each get married and start their own lives.
Yeah. So if you gather as a family together, is it do you prepare something special on the food side? Is there anything special that you guys...
It depends what you're getting together for. Right. So if it's a holiday, if it's Christmas or Easter, then there's traditional dishes that we would make.
Oh, wow.
And even if we get together for birthdays and, just for a dinner, Italian cuisine is always on the menu, for sure.
Amazing.
For sure.
Amazing. Any special dishes that come to mind, or something that if I asked you, what would you, if I would be completely ignorant to Italian culture and cuisine, what would be the first thing or couple things that you would introduce me to on that side?
Pasta, for sure. Pasta's on the menu all the time, twice a week at home. So it doesn't matter if it's for functions or not. Pasta's on the menu all the time. And then, different meats.
What kind of pasta, sorry?
Always a meat sauce, whether it's bolognese or whether it's different types of meat in the sauce. It's always a meat sauce with either fettuccine, rigatoni, gnocchi, lasagna.
Wow.
Yes. All the time.
That sounds delicious. All the time. Having that kind of cuisine all the time. Yeah, I would get spoiled.
You'd get spoiled, right?
Because it's phenomenal. It's every dish is amazing, and you just enjoy. I guess there is the big thing to it that because it's together, you eat together, make those the dinners, the suppers, the breakfast, or the gatherings together, and then you add the beautiful food to it.
It's special times.
That's right.
It's great times, for sure.
Makes it more unique in a way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to continue and do it again if the food is phenomenal? You even those gatherings, you just think about that and yeah, I want to get that pasta.
Exactly. We're here. It's very multicultural country that we're in, the city that we're in. So there's a lot of diversity.
True.
But when it comes to the holidays especially, it's always traditional. It's always traditional. It's always the traditional Italian dishes. So
Awesome.
you get to savor them and you get to enjoy them for sure.
So is it, you said at least twice a week you've got the pasta at home.
At home now, at least twice a week.
So what do you mix it with? If on the days when it's not pasta, what's the rest?
So you'll have veal cutlets, you'll have chicken parmesan, yeah, you'll have sausages, you'll have all different, again, cultural dishes.
Yeah, wow.
Yes.
There is a lot to it, and yeah,
For sure. Risotto, for sure. It depends on the day. We try to mix it up, but we our menu is more of an Italian menu than anything else at home.
On a note, how you have been raised, were there any specific things that your parents were telling you, like, do this in a specific way, do this that way?
Everything. You can't pick one thing and say, everything in life, they try to direct you into a certain path and trying to follow that path. Whether that's because of it's our heritage or not, I think it's more the fact that they immigrated here at such a young age, and they had to find a way to basically survive and make it here, which they absolutely did. So I think always their advice is to try to keep you on that straight and narrow path, for sure.
I'm trying to figure out if during those gatherings, family gatherings, do you guys do something besides the food? Obviously, food and table, that's center of attention usually. But do you have, like, I don't know, special discussions that you have all the time, or you play some games with the whole family, or like anything?
Listen, conversations around the table are ongoing all the time during dinners and gatherings, for sure. Everybody shares their own stories, what's going on, what's new, things that are going on in the world and in life. Then there's always the card games. You play the traditional Italian card games. You play bingo, which is tombola in Italy. So you still try to carry on with those.
Awesome.
With those traditions, for sure.
That's amazing. And when you are thinking about your background, first of all, I want to ask, how was my blind guess with this dish?
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good to hear, because like I'm little bit familiar with Italian cuisine, but this is not like I'm a specialist or and I'm also willing to try and also go outside and let's try this, let's try that, and just to explore the whole palette of
it was very good. The adding of the truffle truffle is a big thing in the Italian culture, especially in different regions of Italy, especially in the food. It's a very nice addition, nice flavor to the food.
It is. Are there, when you are thinking about your heritage and background and all which your culture is going around and all the traditions that you've been passed on, are there one to three things that you carry through life with that family values? That was the one and main one that you mentioned. Are there any other ones that stick out?
Sure. Traditional cultural dishes. Again, I mentioned it earlier on. Depending on the regions in Italy that you are from, the food is very different. If you go to the north, you go to the central parts, you go to the south, the way they cook and their meals are very different. So we carried on certain traditional dishes that we still do at home, and we carry on things that I've learned from my parents, things that I've learned from my in-laws, and now my children are older and they do the same thing. They learn from those things and they continue to make those traditional dishes, for sure.
That's phenomenal. Are there any specific things that you embrace in your culture on a regular basis that you are coming back to it? Because as a Canadian being here, we are in such a big pot of different cultures that are constantly mixing and just being stirred around all the time, right? We are exposed to all of them on a daily basis. Are there any things that you put focus on embracing from your own?
Listen, like I said, the main things are the family values. That's number one, and that's something that we continue to do. Obviously, you know, our food and you know, our palate in the Italian cuisine is also something that we carry on. But you know, we work hard, and you know, again, maybe it's not a cultural thing from Italy, but something that, you know, we learned from my parents coming here at a young age, that you always have to work hard. You know, you always have to make sure you provide for the family. And that's something that, you know, we definitely do that. And again, pass it on to the children. And that's key.
This is a repeatable direction with a lot of Italian people with Italian heritage, is that hardworking and food. Like, we are working hard so we can go back home and have that amazing food back, right?
For sure. But, you know, it's important because, you know, it's good to pass that on to the younger generation as well.
For sure.
Because they see, you know, how my parents worked hard, they see how we work hard, and hopefully they continue that as well.
That's true.
You know, being in a, you know, a cultural place that we are here, it's very easy to sway from that.
Yes.
Right. It's very, very easy to sway from that. And, you know, as long as that you set the foundations right and you carry that forward, be successful.
It is evident for me that the culture is the main thing that all you guys, everyone with Italian background who was taught to cherish the background is really focused on, and it is phenomenal to see that the values are there, and you are proud of it.
Oh, for sure.
So that's a big one.
Yeah.
Definitely. Are there, though, on the side of your business or your professional career, anything that Italians resemble, Italian culture resemble, helped you become successful in what you do or you did?
How it resembles how we became successful?
You yourself?
Myself? Yeah. Not necessarily. Listen, you know, growing up here, going to school here, you pick a path.
Yeah.
I decided to pick a financial path. I studied accounting. I was an accountant for, you know, 30 years. So I don't think that really had anything to do with, you know, my culture or my background.
Yeah.
It's something that I felt was something I wanted to do. And I did it. I enjoyed it. I worked hard. I was successful at it. But then it comes a point where, you know, your career becomes a little stale and you need a change.
That's right.
And I think that's when I actually embraced my heritage.
Oh, really?
Because I went into the fashion field. My vision was not just to open up a retail store to sell clothing. It was specific to Italian brands, exclusive brands that were not here, that I actually went and sourced them in Italy and brought them here.
Wow.
So I think that's where I embraced it more, was later on in life with the switch of my career path. And the big thing is that, you know, the fashion industry in Europe as a whole and in Italy, you have 3 tiers. You have a luxury brand.
That's right.
You have a mid-market brand, and then you have a low brand. Here in Canada, and maybe in Toronto in particular, we're missing one of those. We're missing the mid-market brand.
That makes sense.
And that's exactly what I wanted to bring back here, was that mid-market Italian fashion.
Wow.
And that's what, you know, I'm striving to hopefully get it back here because it's gone and we need to bring it back for sure.
I 100% agree, because every time I'm trying to find something for myself which is on the verge of elegant and but also comfortable,
Right.
it's non-existent.
It's non-existent.
Like if you want both of those, it doesn't exist. And even if you want to be elegant per se, just elegant,
Yeah.
it is so hard because all those big brands, they are making it so it's for the masses, and it's not exactly tailored to what someone with idea and the vision and the taste towards clothing
Right.
would want to embrace, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other big thing is the cost factor.
That's right.
You know, it's either going to be high end or you're at a low end, whereas you're missing that mid market.
That's true. That's true. So, what would you put as a bracket for the mid market here in Canada in general on the fashion level? Because we've got a huge high market, which is thousands of dollars per small pieces, and then
For sure.
tens of thousands for bigger and whole setups and all suits and all that. And then we've got the cheap stuff, which is on the really low end.
Right.
So what's the middle?
So I give you an example.
segment?
You know, very well made suits for men, made in Italy. My price point on a low end is around $395. On a high end is $595.
Wow.
So for me, that's a mid market.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a good price point for a good quality Italian made product. You know, once you get into the high end, a suit may start at around $1,200. It's not made in Italy.
Yeah.
The quality may not be the best, but it has a label, it has a brand.
That's right.
And you're just paying for the brand.
True.
So for me, it's important to bring that mid-market back here, not only for the price point, also for the style.
Yeah. That's a big one.
It's a big thing, right? You go into, you know, not just Italy, I'm going to say anywhere in Europe, because Europe is, you know, Europeans are all the same. The way they dress is phenomenal.
That's true.
You'll never see anybody walking the streets in Europe in track pants or in Lululemon pants.
That's true.
You won't. They're always dressed appropriately with a good sense of style.
I agree, and it's a big thing that it at some point it has been forgotten here.
Right.
The style, having style, and making sure that when you are leaving your place, you represent something with what you wear. Right, that's the first impression.
Exactly.
So how you want to go about bringing it back? I'm curious.
I want to market it so that people know it's here,
right.
and people have the availability to buy back into the mid market. You know, another big issue is, you know, we have online purchasing.
True.
So that makes, you know, gives people a lot of variety, and they're moving away from actually going out and seeing, feeling, and touching the products, which is a very important, when you're shopping, it's very, very important.
Yeah, that's right. That's the only way to get it tailored to you, right? To your taste, to
Exactly.
to your style. So, just out of curiosity, we talked about it a little bit when we met. The division between your client base. You've got male and female, and how that looks like in terms of your products. And
So when we first opened up the store just over 2 years ago, the store was 50% women, 50% men. Now it's probably down to 80% men, 20% women. Anybody that I tell that is shocked. They can't believe it. But that's the reality. Men, when they shop, they go in, they try it on, they like it, they buy it. Women, it's a lot more difficult. And I think it's more to do with the online factor than anything else. Women have time to shop online, to research. If they don't like it, they have time to bring it back to the depot to send it back. Whereas men can't be bothered. Men like to just go, they like it, they buy it, and they move on.
That's right.
Whereas it's a lot easier. It's an easier market for me, I'm finding. So definitely, yeah.
Awesome. And how you see your brand developing from now? Like where do you want to go? Are you seeing it expanding in some point in time? You want to open more locations?
So we opened right in the midst of COVID. It was, for any business, it was the hardest time to actually open up a business. The fact that we survived COVID is a good thing.
That's true.
There's a lot of retailers that are no longer existent after COVID. Any brand you try to build is going to take 3 to 5 years before the brand is actually recognized and, starts doing well. Being in just over 2 years, I've noticed in the last few months, the market is starting to change. People are going back to work. People are going out for dinners. People are vacationing. People are getting married. So, the need for clothing is starting to come alive again. When we first opened the store, we were mainly a streetwear type retailer.
Okay.
So a lot of casual stuff, a lot more, relaxed denim, hoodies. But the market's changed now. So a lot more suits, a lot more, a little bit more elegant apparel. But my vision is, in the next 5 years, is to continue opening and expanding the brand and hopefully opening up a second location. But that's going to take time. May not happen in 5 years.
Okay.
That's for sure. But we'll see.
Unless we get you pretty famous over here.
That would be great. That would be fantastic.
Keep on coming and knocking on your door.
For sure.
I'm super interested in a way how you went about, basically on the beginning, how you figure out the concept of sourcing it from Italy and how your process looks like right now when you are thinking about sourcing some type of clothes, whatever it might be. Let's say a shirt, a men dress shirt. How you go about sourcing it?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So let's go back to the beginning. The vision always was to carry exclusive Italian brands. And because we used to travel to Italy a lot in the past, I knew a lot of the brands that we liked, that were familiar to us. So I sourced those out to start off with. I'll give you an example. There's a women's brand that I was the only one carrying that brand here when I opened up. Wow. Now, the brand has a distributor here in Toronto, so you can get it in a few more stores. So just to give you an example with, trying to be exclusive, and then it kind of backfires on you. But nonetheless, it's a big brand, so it still does well in my store. So I went out and I sourced them all on my own. Planned a trip to Italy. I visited all the major brands and basically, made my selections of which brands I wanted to carry and sourced out the clothing for the first season. And then, you just start to continue researching, Instagram is a phenomenal tool. You can find anything on Instagram. So again, I'm always on there. I'm always looking for new brands, different pieces that are different. You got to be unique. If you're not unique,
that's right.
Why would somebody buy from you when they can buy down the street?
That's
right.
You
always have to be unique. So sourcing out the unique brands that nobody else has, working one-on-one. One-on-one, I'm on WhatsApp. My phone starts going off at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're 6 hours ahead, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, they continuously sending new arrivals, new products, and that's how I source it out.
Wow.
So it's an ongoing, process.
So, like, if you right now, if you like something, you saw it, they send to you a new catalog, would you go there to pick it up yourself, or would you
I would love to be able to go to Italy every time I needed to order, but it's not possible. It's not possible. With WhatsApp, with FaceTime, with emails, you're able to see everything now. Wow. With Instagram. Yeah. So a lot of my sourcing is done that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. And so when you go through the process of finding a piece, then it arrives, do you promote it in any specific way, or you add it to your collection, or how you go about introducing it to the market if it's something completely new and unique?
So the main thing is Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's our main source of advertisement and social media right now. Awesome. And I think it's the best way to get things across.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your client base right now? Like, what are you operating? You've got mainly constantly revolving door and new clients all the time. Do you have loyal clients that keep on coming when they need something? Because with men is like, with myself usually it's like when I buy something, I usually, when I'm going for shopping, I'm going to buy something and I'm going to buy multiple different things and put it in my wardrobe. I'm going to have it. I'm good for next year or two. Right. And then I don't shop.
Yeah. So listen, I have my loyal clients. I have certain clients that come by every couple of weeks just to see the new arrivals, and they're continuously in, which is a good thing. You need your loyal clients. Yeah. You need the clients that like your brand, like what you have, and they continuously come back. But you also need new clients. That's right. Can't only rely on your regulars. You need new clients. And that's all. The main thing is word of mouth. Mm-hmm. Word of mouth is phenomenal. It's a good way to, get it out there. So somebody comes, they're happy with the service, they're happy with the product, they're going to refer other people to you. Yeah. Advertising in certain local magazines or newspaper was very slow at the beginning. I was a little hesitant, but never gave up. And now I'm starting to see, I'm reaping the benefits now. So people will come in and say, oh yeah, we saw you on such and such a magazine, which is a good thing. So it's working. That's right. It's working. And then social media. Social media has got to be, the best. Yeah, number one source, for sure. Sure. With the algorithm within social media now, all you need is one person to look up clothing or Italian clothing, and it'll continuously show up on their feed. Yeah. So, it's a very good tool, for sure. Definitely.
So, I want to roll back a little bit to the journey and to that moment in your life when you decided it's enough of accounting. What happened?
That's a long story that I don't think we have enough time to deal with it on the podcast. But you know what? You deal. You're in a certain career path for a long time. Things happen in your own personal life that just overwhelming, very stressful, and you come to the point where you just can't do it anymore. You're in a position where it's a very demanding job. And you get to almost a breaking point, and you realize, you've had enough. Yeah. You need a change. You need to do something different. And, I would have probably done this years ago, but, you always have a family. Yeah. You always have to provide. So it wasn't a time to even be considering that. It's a little complicated, but it was, I'm going to say it was at a breaking point where you need to decide what you're going to do.
I'm curious, what was the moment that, like, the spark that ignited it all? Like, you decided, okay, I'm burning this bridge, I'm going towards what
like I said to you, it's complicated. It's complicated, and it just comes a point where you yourself know, do I continue down this path, or do I try something new? And I was at the point where that path was done for me.
Okay.
I couldn't even look forward anymore going down that road. I needed to do something different.
I completely feel you. There are moments in life where you are like, I'm done with this.
You're done. Exactly.
I need to change. And at that point, did you know exactly where you are going, or you were still like, you mentioned that it was the food is your food. See, that's my passion. Clothing, it was your passion, and you were always looking out for those brands when you were visiting Italy. Was it something that you already knew you're gonna be moving towards clothing, or?
I don't think I was 100% sure. But when you sit and you evaluate, what am I gonna do next?
Yeah.
I always had a passion for fashion. Like, I always loved it. I always liked to dress well. I always liked to wear the things that were different. So it was something that, if I'm going to do something, I need to do something that I enjoy.
True.
I didn't want another office job. So I wanted to do something, very different. And yeah, I think it was just, finally hit me and said, this is what you need to do.
So after 2 years operating with new business, how does you see exponential growth already? How does that look like? Still in the bootstrapping period, or are you already good where you're at and then just putting another level to it?
No, we're still in the we're still trying to get through
Okay.
the trenches.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not something. 2 years is not enough time.
That's true.
Not opening up a new business and trying to build a brand.
Especially during the pandemic.
Especially during the pandemic, and you have inventory, so costs. Costs are higher.
That's true.
We have a pretty big location. The store is not a small store; it's a pretty big store. So it's going to take a little bit more time, but definitely in the last couple of months, I've definitely seen the change in the behavior of the people with regards to spending. It's not the greatest considering everything that's going on out in the marketplace, but it is better than it was.
Awesome. That's amazing. I hope that direction definitely, and people gonna come back to the point where they enjoy going out and figuring it out for themselves, what fits them in terms of fashion. I'm curious, have you ever considered adding a tailoring to the whole experience as well?
Tailoring meaning custom tailoring?
Custom tailoring or adjustments or anything because with especially suits, or I would say mainly suits, that's the case. Myself.
That's a good question. I have a tailor that I work with. So for example, if you come and try something on that needs alterations, I have somebody that does that.
Okay.
For sure. Doing custom tailoring, I don't think that's something that I would want to even explore. I think it takes away from my whole vision of bringing the Italian fashion here. If we're going to start custom making our own clothing, then it takes away from what I'm trying to build as a brand.
Yeah, I get you. And in the same time, then you've adding so much overhead, and then you need to have all that going on and made here, and the cost is suddenly rising. So you're gonna be on if you will manage to keep the mid-market size, that would be really surprising. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a funny story. I had a customer come in. He's in a good field. He's in the real estate field. Dresses very well, came into my shop wearing a very nice suit, looking good. It was his first time in the store, looking around, and I says, wow, you should give my suits a try. He says, oh no, he says, my suits are all custom made downtown on Bay Street. That's all that I wear. I says, okay. I says, but you should just give it a try. Let me know what you think. So the suits came in 4 different colors. He ended up trying one on. He ended up buying 2 colors that same day. A few weeks later, I got a message from him and said, do you have this color in stock? So just to give you an example, this is someone that went from custom tailor, only wearing custom made suits.
That's right.
Who knows how much they paid for them. Then coming in and trying on my suit and ended up walking out with 3 suits. So just to, just because something is custom made, it doesn't always mean
That's right.
that the fit
Yeah.
is going to be exactly what it should be.
I would add even a style.
Even the style, for sure. And you know what? I got joy out of that,
Oh, yeah.
right? Knowing that, what I'm trying to achieve, it's working.
True.
It's just educating.
That's right.
That's all it is.
It's just gonna take a little bit longer for us men to understand that we need, when we're gonna go through the process and get educated, it might be better for us in the long run, right?
Right. Absolutely.
There's the process of choosing the clothing. Like me myself, like I feel very often that because of my chest, my bicep, I sometimes the lengths are perfect, all it fits, and then when I put the first button on, it's just all over the place and it doesn't fit as it should, or it's when I'm gonna go size up, it doesn't lay perfectly and so on. So there are a lot of elements to it, and once you, like yourself, you take care of that customer and educate them about it, they're gonna feel more comfortable.
You need to try one of my suits.
Oh yeah, I'm coming for sure. On the terms of Maverick, what does Maverick mean to you? Being a Maverick, what does it mean to you?
Being a Maverick, I would say being strong-willed, successful, always pushing forward.
That's a really really good definition, and I feel like I always admire people who can make a simple explanation to really big concepts.
Right.
And this is one of them for sure for me myself. How would you feel that? How are you and what you are doing makes you a Maverick? How are you different from everybody else around?
I think the main thing is that, being able to, start my own business later on in life with a vision of bringing something here that I'm not going to say is non-existent, but that's very different.
Yeah.
Than what everybody else here is doing and has. So I think, that's probably going to be my strongest, reasoning for it.
Oh yeah. Like just coming up with this particular side of the market when like I wouldn't expect even that this might be such a big niche and such an empty space in the market that you can fill in, right? And for people like myself, or even I'm just thinking about my my friends who exercise a lot. Usually those guys have so much trouble finding anything that they're gonna, first of all, look nice in, second of all, that's gonna fit, right? So because these aren't the standards, right? So you need to go about and spend a lot of time. And myself, I hate shopping. Like if I have dedicated shop, like even back home, as I mentioned to you, every time we visit our family back in Poland, I've got my own brand that I'm always visiting.
Your go-to. Exactly.
Because I always gonna find something that I like there, right?
Yeah. And especially men, they hate shopping malls.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to go into the malls.
No.
You know, we're a storefront. You drive up, you're at the front door, you come in.
And leave in 5 minutes if you can.
You know, it's not that busy. You know what? You get the one-on-one service.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, big time.
It's something that people want.
I think with you would be with you and your storefront would be the whole experience. So you, like, when I'm thinking about it, even though I just visited and I haven't had the whole full package of experience, I'm thinking that because of your presence and your advice and you coming and finding the need that customer have and making sure that person is feeling welcome and you are tailoring to his needs.
Yes. Exactly.
They will spend time there because they will feel, this is the right place for me, finally.
Right? And then you offer them an espresso.
Well, yeah, that's a different level.
That closes the deal.
Oh, yes. That's true. That's true. When, like, we all want to be taken care of and we all require, at the end of the day, we are all willing to pay more for a great service, a great experience, right?
For sure.
And I believe that there are so many people that hopefully gonna be, after watching the podcast, they're gonna be curious and wanting to visit your shop for that experience.
Always welcome.
Amazing. What's next for you?
What's next for me? At this point, it's still continuing to grow the business. That's like I said to you, that's my goal for the next 3 to 5 years. Is I want 2911 to be known so that people within the GTA will all know the brand and will shop the brand.
Amazing. From my own personal visit, I saw the pieces that you have in your shop, and they are unique for sure. You cannot find these in the regular shops in any mall or even in the high-end stores, as you said, because it's about the brand which is printed on the the big label, and that's it, right?
Exactly.
So if someone like myself, or if any of our audience is someone who appreciate quality and have a style that wanna explore and expand, 2911 is the place to go.
Absolutely.
So on the trajectory of next 3 to 5 years, your main plan is to continue raising awareness and getting people to know the brand and come and try it on and then become an ambassadors of it, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
On your travels to Italy and looking at them going about the fashion, what's outstanding for you?
What's outstanding?
With Italian fashion.
Just seeing the way people dress and the way people carry themselves. I was in Italy in January for a fashion. They were having an expo for fashion in Florence. We're here in Canada and Toronto. Our weather here in the winter gets very, very cold.
That's true.
I can't sell turtlenecks for men. You know turtlenecks?
Yeah.
I can't sell them.
Really?
I was in Florence in January. It was 15 degrees. and all the men were wearing turtlenecks.
Yeah.
Not because it was cold, because it was a fashion statement.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Just seeing how people carry themselves to make a fashion statement it's phenomenal. I was walking the streets and I'm like, what's wrong with all the people at home? Why are they not dressing like this?
Yeah, true.
So it's a big thing to see how fashion is appreciated there in Italy for sure. For sure.
Me, myself, personally, I love turtlenecks, but I get agitated with them
Right.
very, very often.
Right.
And in all, I would love to have the whole variety and different colors and all of that, but like as soon as I get them on, if there are woolen, I'm done.
Right. Again, I totally understand, but it's just it's something that you think because here it's so cold and people want to stay warm.
You would do that, right?
That they would wear them, whereas that's not the case.
No.
So it's just the way that because they're so popular in Italy and they're a fashion statement.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wears. With a blazer, with
That's
a
right.
sports jacket, it doesn't matter with what,
Yeah.
but they're wearing them.
There is so much to fashion that you, as you mentioned, that is a statement. And what do you think you can, like, from your own experience and you being passionate about fashion, having the passion about fashion, what a person can put through or signal with their fashion? What are the statements that they can make with it? What is the image that you can be proclaimed with?
I think the biggest thing is just always try to dress nice. Always try to look your best.
Yeah.
Especially when you're out and about. I don't think there's anything in particular that somebody should wear, but just wear things that really stand out. And it doesn't need to be flashy, but just things that are put together well, things that make you look proper, and that you are a little bit fashionable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like get away from the baggy track pants or like the hoodies. Like just when you're out, just try to look your best.
That's so simple, but in the same time so
Right?
complicated here.
Yeah,
Like you
for
look
sure.
around, it's
non-existent here.
non-existent. Yeah, definitely. And I see even in the city downtown here, sometimes you've got people who are trying to do that, but then you see that they are wearing the big, I don't know, Zara or H&M, and it's not what it's supposed to be. It's not there.
I get it, but the thing is that there's different markets for different people.
Yeah.
Right? So, not everybody could afford a mid-market fashion
True.
Outfit, or a lot of people can't afford the luxury. So it's depending on their own circumstance. But again, there's ways to style those brands properly as well.
That's right.
Right? So, Zara has a lot of great pieces. They do look good. It's the quality.
That's right.
So, but I understand there's people that's all they could really be wearing, and that's what they wear. But it's just being put together properly.
Yeah. So how would you go about advising men how to put things together that they look good and they work together and they are making a whole image, not just this piece, like you've got 5 nice pieces, but they completely do not work together, right?
So listen, there's a lot of things, people come in and, I'm not a blazer type person. Well, you don't always have to wear a blazer with a shirt and a tie.
Yeah.
You can wear a blazer with a t-shirt. You can wear a blazer with a polo top that you're wearing right now.
That's right.
You can wear it with a dress shirt with a tie. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can wear blazers with jeans. I sell most of my blazers for people that wear them with jeans casually. So that stigma of wearing a blazer as being a formal piece to have in your closet is non-existent anymore.
That's true.
So it's just showing people how to style things. I get customers in and they're like, oh no. And then once you put something together for them and you show them how it works, they end up buying it.
It's about the whole experience.
It's about the whole and educating.
That's right.
But again, if somebody's not comfortable, you don't push them.
That's true.
Right? You need people to be comfortable in what they're wearing.
Yeah. It takes time to understand that dressing nicely, it adds to your own comfort and your
own confidence and your
self-esteem.
self-esteem. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter what size you are.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what size you are.
100%.
Whether you're petite or whether you're big, it's just putting the things on that work.
That's true.
Yeah.
I remember the situations where on the beginning when I was younger, I never been really about fashion or dress. I liked dressing elegantly, but it wasn't ever about making a splash or making but then I bought a couple pieces thanks to my wife's advice as well, and little bit tweaking here and there, and then walking through to the room and everybody giving me compliments of how what I'm wearing and how it works. It makes a big difference,
right?
Oh yeah.
You feel good about yourself.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think if there is a natural direction for men to go about it. Is there steps to it, or?
Again, listen, a lot of men don't know how to put pieces together because they just don't have that, that style to be able to say, oh, this looks good with this or this looks good with that. I think it's just a matter of, trial and error.
Yeah.
Just try different things.
That's right.
Just try different things, and you'll see that it'll work.
Yeah, it's it's with everything, whether it's a business venture or whether it's dressing up. It's you just need to try.
But a lot of men are getting better now.
For
men
sure.
are getting better, not just just in general. They're more cautious about their hairstyles. They're more cautious about their grooming. So they become more cautious about their dressing. So it's definitely changing. It's getting there. It's getting there, especially with the younger generation.
Yeah, I think there is a wave of younger men who are thinking about the fashion part to it, but also making sure that they feel comfortable and they resemble some image and they bring something with how they go about themselves or what they are wearing, right?
Right. I had a mother and son that came in last week, and the mother wanted to buy the son. He was 21 years old, and she's like, I need to buy a new wardrobe. It's his birthday. Maybe a nice sports jacket. And I says, well, look at this blazer. And she's like, oh no. She says, that looks like it's for an old man. I said, okay. So I walked away. You know what? I gave him some different pieces. Yeah. And then I picked a pair of pants and a shirt for him to try on. And I just grabbed the blazer that she had turned down a few minutes earlier, right? Yeah. And I said to him, why don't you try this on? And as soon as he put it on, the mother's like, oh my God, I love that jacket. And I said to her, I said, it's easy to say when you see something hanging, I don't like it.
That's right.
So don't always judge something based on what's on the hanger. You have to put it on yourself.
Yeah.
Once you put it on you, you get a whole different look and a whole different vision.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's, as you mentioned, it's all about the experience and trying it,
Yes,
right?
you have to try.
Yeah.
You may not like it, and it may not look good, but you have to try it.
That's right.
For sure.
How would you know if you just look at the picture, whether it's on the mannequin in front of you or
Right.
on the Instagram? It's still, if you
It's
didn't
different.
try
Exactly.
it,
You won't know.
you won't know, for sure. I wanna move around to the part where we're gonna go a little bit deeper on that Maverick front. What's your definition of success? What does it mean to you?
I think success to me means being able to achieve anything you set your mind to doing. In anything, in any business. For a young person, it's, getting through university, deciding on a career path. It's not always a monetary. Success for me, is not measured by how much money you make.
Yeah.
It's achieving what your end goal and result is in life.
Awesome.
That's success to me.
That's definitely a healthy way of thinking about it, because we can be striving about. I know that, and I'm guilty of that too. That when you put the money as your goal, that goal is changing constantly. Oh, let's do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and it's like never ending, and you are just running like that rat in a race, right?
And that's exactly what happened to me with my own career. It was always moving up the ladder, making more money. But that's not success.
Yeah.
Because you're not happy.
That's true. So do you feel that is it for you important to get to the point of success or the goal that you set yourself to, or is it the journey? What's the more important that you think?
Listen, getting to the end goal takes a long time.
Oh yeah.
But seeing yourself getting closer to the goal all the time is success for me.
Awesome.
Right?
Makes sense. For sure.
Like now, every month, meeting my targeted goals makes me successful, makes me feel successful.
Yeah.
Am I where I want to be? No. But at least I know that I'm hitting these targets.
That
means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
So I should be happy that I'm successful in what I'm trying to do.
For sure. That you are on the right trajectory. And
exactly.
It doesn't mean that you haven't achieved the big goal if you are hitting the incremental goals on the way, right? Yeah, it's super important. I believe behind every success there is a failure.
For sure.
What is your failure story?
My failure story? I think for me, the biggest thing that I look at, again, I go back to my previous career and my previous paths. It's very complicated. It's not something that we can get into to discuss, but sometimes I feel that was my biggest failure.
Okay.
Because I should have did things maybe a little different. And if I would have done that, maybe things wouldn't have happened the way that they did.
Okay.
Not only from a professional and a career standpoint, even personal life issues and stuff. I think that there was just a lot of things going on that I think maybe if I would have did certain things different, the outcome could have been. And I think that's probably what I'm going to say is probably one of my biggest or one of my failures.
Okay, makes sense. The big thing is acknowledging where you are and what you went through, and that every failure is the stepping stone to your success.
Right.
right? So even though there are usually hard feelings connected to those moments, they are definitely building blocks for us.
For sure.
On our way later. Let's do a small moment. I don't know if it's a floor underneath you or the chair, but something is squeaking. Are you able to move or can you move on the chair it's not the chair, it's the floor. Can you move a little bit with the chair back on or forward, anything? Yeah,
better?
Now it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it.
It's good. Just less editing for me if we do it this way, right? I'm gonna start off with a couple questions. I'm just gonna be dropping them on, and let me know what you think. So, what is about what you do right now and your business that you want people to understand?
What I want people to understand in my business, or what I'm doing personally?
Can be both. Can be about your vision for what you are trying to accomplish.
So I'm going to go back to, I think, this mid-market fashion being available here. I just want people to understand that, the market here in Canada, and Toronto in particular, if you go to Montreal, it's very different. The fashion industry in Montreal is very different than here. The mid-market definitely exists in Montreal. It doesn't exist here. I just want people to know that there's a lot more variety out there when it comes to, how you dress and clothing, as opposed to always thinking that, there's the Zara, there's the H&M, there's the Holt Renfrew and that, right? So there's a lot more in between that's so different and so diverse that people are not even experiencing it or knowing that it's there.
And they're not familiar with
it.
Makes sense. So on that note, who would be your ideal client?
Who would be my ideal client? Anybody would be my ideal client, actually, because I don't think there's a specific, niche of people that would be I would be able to cater to anybody, depending on their personal circumstance.
For sure. So on the opposite of that, what is your biggest problem or challenge right now?
My biggest problem or challenge, I'm going to go back to online shopping. I think online shopping has really hurt any retailer in, I'm going to say not only here, but in the world.
Yeah, true.
Online shopping has become too easy. Too easy.
Yeah.
Too much variety. Too many options. And if you have the time and the patience for it, people would rather sit in front of a screen and order their stuff as opposed to going somewhere and trying it on.
That's true.
Especially women. Women go into the change room and don't even come out of the change room when they try things on. So, I think that would probably be the biggest.
Yeah, the society is changing with all the IT development and us going into virtual world more and more. And if I'm curious what artificial intelligence is going to bring in terms of fashion, because there will be some influence on that as well. The question is which way it's going to go, right?
Right.
So that's another question that I'm having. In terms of technology, relationships, what kind of tools did you leverage to kind of speed up the process for you to reach out more clients, get get better?
Instagram is number one.
Instagram
has to be, number one. TikTok is treading there pretty good.
Yeah.
For me, myself, I don't, promote on, or I don't even use TikTok for the business. But Instagram for me, I'm going to have to say is key. Yeah. The best.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of people. I've got my own saying about the Instagram, which is a vanity fair. That's what it is, in my opinion. But in the same time, it helps with people learning about, for instance, fashion, or going about discovering what are different options, right? And seeing styling, how people style things or connect pieces together so they work and look nice and create an image to it, right?
For sure.
Or do you feel that like you are a tribe person, community type of person yourself?
A tribe?
A tribe or community type of person.
What do you mean by community type person?
Someone who works or creates around himself a group of individuals that might have similar goals or similar intentions or want to strive for more.
That's a good question. I think everybody likes to kind of put themselves into those kinds of relationships and that kind of grouping, but it's not always the case.
That's true.
It's not always the case.
That's true.
Definitely not a community-based type individual.
Yeah.
I have, a pretty wide range of, people that I associate with.
Makes sense.
And it's not always business related.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's, would you say it's not always the case because that journey of entrepreneurship is a hard one and it's kind of lonely one, and you put your head to the grindstone and you don't really have time for it, or there are other reasons that might make it?
I think there's other reasons. I think it's good to be diverse.
Okay.
I think it's not good to always associate with one type of tribe or one community.
Yeah.
I think it's good to be, diverse.
Yeah.
You have your group of friends, you have your group of professional people that you deal with, you have different family members. So I think it's good to be diverse and not to just stick to one community. I think you're kind of going into a safe zone when you do that. That's
so true.
Right? So it's good to kind of break it up a little bit.
Yeah. Definitely, and you need the variety, right?
Exactly.
It's super healthy to be able to surround yourself with different people that give you different perspectives, right?
Absolutely.
As one of our basic needs is a need for belonging. Therefore, we just chatted a little bit about that community or the groups of individuals. Is there anything that you would do to help a person that you associate yourself with feel that they belong more?
I don't think you need to belong. Personally, I don't think you need to belong. And then, if somebody's struggling with that, you just need to be yourself. You just need to be yourself in life. I've been there, seen it, done it, where you think you need to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Or you feel like you need to belong into this group of people, or you need to be here. Just be yourself. Surround yourself with different people. You get so much more insight to life. You get so much more love from different people. I find that when you stick to, one group, or a certain way that you feel that you need to be, just not healthy mentally either.
True.
That's why so many people suffer from mental health these days.
That's true.
Is because everybody thinks they need to belong. They need to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Everything is about an image.
That's true.
You know, just let that go. Let that go.
That's so nice and healthy perspective on it, that just thinking outside the box and not necessarily be forcing yourself to fit into the mold or to the box of someone else's borders, right?
Yeah. And I think it's even geared more to the younger people. As much as we talked about Instagram and how social media is so good to grow your business, it is a fantastic way to grow your business. But for the young generation, it's also a way that they judge themselves.
That's true.
When they look at social media and they see, oh wow, look at the way this person looks, or look at that, I'm not like that. I might be a little bit overweight, or I might be this. And I think mentally, it's not healthy.
True.
It's not healthy.
True. There is so much to it, and it's, as I mentioned earlier, the Vanity Fair and constant comparison to other people might be really putting a toll on someone's psyche, right? Yeah. It's a big one. Okay. I've got two last ones that are gonna be on a different caliber. I've seen that reaction. What question would you like to be asked more often?
What question would I like to be asked more often? That's a very difficult question, you know. I think I would want people to possibly, you know, ask, I don't know, why I'm such a humble and you know, nice person, which I think I am. But I think I would want people to kind of want to know why I'm like that.
So why is it like that?
I know it was going to that, right? I think it's, again, you know, throughout life, you hit different struggles. And I think that the biggest thing that I think changed my life and made me the way that I am today is my faith. Is my faith. I think I was, for the longest time, I was blinded by wanting to fit in, wanting to, you know, be a certain person, be at a certain caliber, associate with, you know, different tribes.
That's right.
Different communities. And you realize that it's not important in life. Just being yourself, being humble, appreciating every day what you have.
Yeah, makes sense.
That would probably be something that I would want people to really, you know, look at and acknowledge and maybe ask me why.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, definitely. That part is, every one of us go through different journeys, and it is super important to be able to adjust to the other person and be able to listen, right?
Right.
And hear what they are saying. Not only listen, but also hear.
Exactly.
What's behind it. So as a final summary one, what was the greatest day of your life?
The greatest day of my life? July 17th, 1993.
What happened?
When I married my wife.
That's amazing. What was the best about this day?
I think that was just the date that we solidified our love for one another and, you know, wanting to live our lives together for each other.
That's phenomenal. Domenic, it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming. It was an honor to having you here on the show.
Okay, it was a pleasure being here. Thank you very much. Thank you for the Italian food.
All right. And it's a wrap. We dare you. If you are bold enough, hit subscribe, repost the rebellion, and don't miss out on next week's episode. It's going to be bloody brilliant. See you on the next one.